In today's video, we're going to be going through a 5-pound world coin bulk lot. And the first thing you might notice about this bulk lot is it's $30, which is far better than what you can find on eBay. I picked this up at a local coin show. The dealer I got this from, he usually has a lot of these, and it's really good. Now, almost all bulk lots you're going to find on eBay or in person are probably searched pretty good. This guy admits it. And there are still good things to be found in here. I find things that I am surprised that he did not pick out of here when I've gone through lots from him in the past. If you're in the area, you might want to come find him. If you live anywhere near the Knoxville, Tennessee area of the United States, he usually sets up the once-a-month Knoxville Coin Show, and that's about where he lives. And he also deals with a lot of tokens. So if you ever go to the Knoxville Coin Show, it's the guy that has a lot of foreign coins and tokens organized really well, but he also has these bulk lots. And so what we do in a lot like this is, normally I wouldn't try and go through 5 pounds of coins in one video because it would take a long time to find, to examine every single thing. So I can sort of see what's on the outside of the bag, since it is a clear bag here in the back, but I don't know most of what's in here. And so we're just going to start digging through here, and now we're going to point out the more interesting coins, at least the things that I find a little bit better. We're going to start with this from Mexico. I love these modern 10 pesos. This one is pretty well worn for it being 2017, so less than a decade old, and it looks like it's pretty well worn. I do always like to point out, when this coin first came out in the 1990s, there was silver in the middle of this coin, and you could tell it was a silver coin because they had the letter N for new up here with the denomination on the coin. But once they took out the letter N, they also took out the silver out of that. I also see one of these modern Philippines 5 pesos. Again, a fairly new coin that's gotten a little bit dirty. This one is dated 2018. I really love the new design of the Philippines coins. And this one has some very tiny etching on here. You could see micro printing on a paper money, but to see all the micro etching in the background where it says the 5 peso on here, and it features Bonifacio on here. The Central Bank of Philippines mint mark is right here. Remember, that's the Manila mint mark, but that's where that's going to be. We flip it over, and we've got a flower here called a tayabak. And then the more micro printing on the back, it has the Central Bank of the Philippines there on the side. So I always like finding those. Here is the modern pineapple coin from the Bahamas. This one's dated 2016. And I just got started. We'll see how dirty this makes my fingers by the time it's all said and done, but that's what happens when you go through a lot of foreign coins. Here's one from South Africa. It's going to be a 2 rand. Dated 1989. At this time, they had both names for the country, the English and the Afrikaans version, written on the edges of the back. From India, here is a 2 rupee from 2015. Also from the Philippines, we've got the 1 peso, featuring Jose Rizal. This one doesn't have all the micro printing of the other one, but we can see the mint mark right there. From memory, I think that's the Manila mint mark. This one features the Walling plant. Here's a modern 50 paisa from India. I believe that features their Parliament building. Dated 1990 on that one. From Mexico. Here's the 20 peso from 1985, featuring G Victoria. I don't see that coin quite as often as some of the others from Mexico. Here's the one of the later designs with Queen Elizabeth from Britain from 2016. It comes from a time where It's almost like the coins made a puzzle. You put them together to see the shield, and here in the 5 pence was the middle of it, where you can see kind of a little bit of the 4 countries that made up the United Kingdom. So we've got the top corner of the harp and a couple of lions on here. So far, some of the rarest coins are going to be a lot of the newer coins. Here is a modern design of the coin from Malaysia, a 20 cent from 2018. So their modern design of coins has a lot of geometric shapes on it. We've got 3 flowers and a bunch of dots and lines. Another coin from India. We've got 2 rupees here. And guy going, peace. But holding up 2 fingers for 2 rupees. That's the design from 2010. This one has a star mint mark on it. From Belize, here's the 25 cents coin from 2000. That one's pretty well worn. We had the Bahamas a moment ago. Here is the modern redesign of the 10 cents coin. And I really like the look of all of their coins, but this one could be my favorite with the redesigned fish. Just a more interesting look, I think. We got 1 fish poking up out of the water. 2016 on that one. Let me clean this up a little bit and try to pick out some of the more interesting coins. Here's a better look at the Belize coin. This one's in much better shape because it's 2021. Really new coins getting into this lot. I don't know why, but every time I get lots from this guy, I get several of these Japanese 100 yen, and I wish I had a way of cashing them out because just in the foreign exchange value, these are worth about 60 US cents each. And so I've probably gotten 50 of these from this dealer over the years. Here is a coin from Singapore. This one is dated 1988. During this time period, there are 2 versions of every coin. There's the banner here at the bottom either curves up or curves down. They changed it at some point along the way. But here is the design of the 50 cents. But for a newer coin, we've got a city design, and you'll notice the lion in the top corner. So what it looks like in 2016, but here's the 50 cents. This one features a boat coming in. Must be a cargo boat because it looks like one of those cranes to pick up the intermodal containers there at the top. It still features the same lion design on the other side. That one's dated 2013. From here we have 1 krona from 1976 featuring from Denmark, Margaret II, who ruled until just very recently. We had the Mexican 10 peso earlier. Here is the 5 peso from 2017. Then from Iran, here is, I believe this one's going to be a 2 reals. They didn't use the same Arabic calendar that a lot of other countries use, but this is a date of 20, I think that says 2534, I think, on their calendar. But you have the radiant sun behind the lion holding the curved sword with the crown at the very top. If you haven't seen the newest 1 baht design from Rama X in Thailand, we have that here. This is the standard circulating 1 baht today. We had the 5 cents from Great Britain earlier. So here is I believe this is the top left corner that features a couple of more lions on it. The 10 euro cents from Spain features Miguel Cervantes, the author of Don Quixote. From the United Arab Emirates, we have I believe this is called a 1 dirham, featuring a picture. This one has a date of 2007. I get the 7 and the 8 mixed up. So that's either 2007 or 2008 on our calendar. And then from Guatemala, in 2018, almost all the modern Guatemalan coins have this design on one side, featuring I believe that's a quetzal bird with the very long tail, and it has the scroll with the liberty and the date on it. So the design of the 5 centavos coin has looked exactly the same for several decades, although they have made subtle changes to the design of this coin. So I always have to check the catalog to see which one I do and don't have. Let's go ahead and pour some more coins out of the bag and see what else falls out here. Another 100 yen. Here's a good one from West Africa, the Monetary Union of West Africa. These are a collection of states which used to be controlled by the French. So it's 50 francs from 2007. The Central Bank of the States of West Africa. And a lot of their coins featured this design on it. This is an old device that they used to use to weigh gold, I believe. Here's the 10 cent euro cents from France, which features a similar design to the 1 franc that they used before they switched to the euro. The 1.5 franc featured the lady who was sowing seeds in front of a sunset in the background, so they kept that design on their euro coins. From the Netherlands, this features Queen Beatrix on a 1 gulden. A very geometrical design at the time. From Poland, there is the Warsaw Mint mark right here. It features an M over a W. 50 groszy. I always like the Australian platypus coin, although I've gotten a whole bunch of them here lately in bulk lots. Pulling out a few more coins, here is a country that's pretty hard to find. From 2021, this one is Bosnia and Herzegovina. This was part of the former Yugoslavia. And 2 of the regions there formed their own country. There are several countries that came out of Yugoslavia. Their currency is called the KM on here. It's the convertible mark. And it's 100 feninga make up 1 convertible mark on here. So good to find that modern coin. From Mexico, we've got the 50 peso from 1988 featuring Juarez. Moving on to a different euro here. Here is the design from Finland, featuring the lion standing on a curved sword and holding a straight sword, dated 1999 on that 10 euro cent. Then a country that we don't see all that often in euros is Latvia. And I think it took them a while to join the European Union, but we certainly don't see this design as often. This one's dated back to 2014 on that 10 euro cent. From the East Caribbean states, this is a collection of several Caribbean countries controlled by the British. This is an aluminum 5 cents coin from 2004. From Colombia, here is a 200 pesos from 2014. And I like their modern coins feature animals on them. This one features this particular bird. I guess that's the Guacamaya bandera, given the scientific name of it here. Another animal, this is a coin from New Zealand from 2002, featuring some kind of lizard with a kind of a bird flying in the background. Modern coin from Turkey, It's a 25 kurus. When they redesigned their currency, at one point it said 25 kurus, but they had dropped that by before 2010. From the Cayman Islands, their 10 cents coin features a turtle poking its head up out of the water and creating some concentric rings on here. It's dated 2013. From Colombia, this features some ancient art from that civilization. It's going to be the old Colombia 200 pesos from 1994. Another coin from Australia from 2012. This is their $2 coin, featuring, I believe that's an Aborigine, and the same star design that appears on their flag. So it's another coin that has a pretty good exchange value, if I knew how to convert it. From Trinidad and Tobago, we've got the 1 cent. This was the earlier design of their coins from 1972, where it features this shield on the back, a couple of birds like a stork on here. The shield in the middle features 3 ships and 2 more birds above it. But then from the same time period, here is, now this was a more recent coin, 2002, features the 25 cent coin with a bunch of leaves. Here's an older coin from Malaysia featuring a spinning top. At least I think this side is up. I guess you could say that that side is up too, but I think it's a spinning top or a spinning toy of some kind. Ceremonial device that has a couple of ribbons hanging off of it. This is the way that Malaysian money looked up through at least 2009, the 5 sen on here. And then from Spain, here is the RF, Republic Française, coin from 1999. This one is the 5 euro cent, featuring an actress mask, I think. I've dug through a little bit more, and I found this square coin from Aruba. This one is a 50 cent coin. The design of their coins pretty much have not changed at all since they started making coins. It's also a pretty strong currency, so that would have about a 30 cent foreign exchange value to it. Really, the only coin of theirs which has changed is the one golden, which used to have a portrait of the Queen, but now that they have King Willem Alexander on it, that one coin has changed, but pretty much all of their other coins have not changed in all the decades that they've been around. Here's a modern coin from Hungary. This one is a 10 forint, kind of a basic design on here. It's got a BP for Budapest mint mark there at the bottom, and then 2007 we've got the shield and crown on top of it. Magyar is the word for Hungary. From Kuwait, here is I believe this is 50 fils. Pretty much all of the Kuwaiti coins look about the same. This one is dated 1997. On our calendar, they all feature this boat on the rocky waters. Here's a coin from Taiwan. Got a couple black spots on it, but is otherwise pretty shiny. I believe that one is called a $1 coin. Here is a coin from Nicaragua where it features the Freedom Phrygian cap there in the background radiating over the 5 mountains or volcanoes of Nicaragua. And then in 1994 it features a peace dove flying over an outline of the shape of Nicaragua. This one is 50 centavos of a Cordoba. From Costa Rica, a lot of their coins look pretty much exactly the same. Haven't had a lot of design changes over the years. This one is a 2 colones from 1984. However, there are a lot of varieties on the Costa Rican coins having to do with the metals, the size of this ship, the size of the ship in the background, and the number of stars. I believe this one is 7, but some older coins will only have 5 stars for the number of states or provinces that they have. So lots of things to look out for on Costa Rican coins. This coin from Spain is pretty common, but since it's old and still really shiny, I decided to show it this time. This one is a 5 pesetas. featuring Francisco Franco. During this time, coins from Spain, that is the date that the coin was first minted, and not the actual date of the coin. The actual date of the coin is inside this tiny little star right here, and let's see if we can get it to focus on that. To me, that looks like a 73, maybe. It's really tough to see that with the naked eye sometimes, so glad to be able to see the date on that one. Another coin from Spain. This one features some architecture on their euro, 5 cent. Here's a coin from China, a modern coin, a 1 yuan coin that we don't find this one as often as some older ones, but it's dated 1999. Back to the Eastern Caribbean states, this one is the 25 cents. Now, their currency is pegged to the United States currency, and the size of the coins are exactly the same. But I don't think it's a 1-to-1 match. I think it's 1 US to 1.7 Eastern Caribbean states. So that would make this worth about, let's say, about 15 to 17 cents or so in United States money. But we still feature the portrait of the Queen. Here's an old aluminum coin from French Polynesia. This design didn't last too long, but a lot of the French territories looked like that at this time, 1975. But it's the 1 franc, but it looks a lot better on. Some of these coins have looked kind of gross, which I guess is why they ended up staying in here. As far as, I wish there was a way of washing the coins without cleaning them, but you get what you get, I guess. So French Polynesia is going to include places like Tahiti and Bora Bora. This is going to be a coin from 20 paseas. Pasay was from Ghana. And I believe that is a coca plant. So this is essentially where chocolate comes from. Dated 2015. Yeah, unfortunately, there are a lot of dirty coins on here, and seeing them on camera makes them look worse. If you haven't seen the 5 euro cent from Italy, it features the Colosseum. And if you didn't recognize the Colosseum, for Italy, they have the letter I in front of the letter R on here. Here's a coin from Ceylon when it was controlled by the British from 1943. This is a 1 cent coin. Has the word 1 cent written, I believe, in a couple of different alphabets on the left and the right of the tree. Then we have the portrait of George V, listed at the time as King and Emperor of India. From Brazil, this is the modern design of the Brazil coins, but you don't see the 50 cent coin as often. Trying to see if I can read the name on there. Rio Branco. So the 50 centavos from 2005. From Romania, here is just a kind of a plain design featuring their currency of 10 bani from 2007. Panama is another country that has pegged its currency to the United States dollar. And they also make their coins the same shape, size, and weight as United States coins. So this is a quarter of a Balboa, and it's the same size as United States quarter of a dollar, dated 2018. And they even call it a quarter of a Balboa instead of 25 centésimos. From 2011, I believe this is Croatia, we have a tuna fish. I always thought the spacing of the letters on this was kind of weird, how the N and the J are together, but that's how they spell that fish. But Hrvatska is Croatia, and this is a 2 kune coin from, I believe this is Lebanon. 250 livres is their currency, so 2009. Got a large number 250, and the tiny little word livres right here, and plus a lot of letters in the background on here. We flip it over, it has the same thing in Arabic. Date of 2009 at the bottom, and the number 250 is written in Arabic in front of a Lebanon cedar. That's their 2, that's their 5, that's their 0. Another modern coin from Turkey. This one is the 10 kurus, dated 2019. And then the 10 euro cent from Germany is going to feature the Brandenburg Gate. So the German euros are ones that still have a mint mark on it, since they have several mints that produce these coins. So there is the G mint mark. I don't have them all memorized, but A is Berlin. From Brazil, during their decades of hyperinflation, we have a 1 cruzado from 1987. And this side features the Brazilian shield. That was a currency that only lasted a couple of years, when they seemed to change currency every couple of years. Another modern coin from India. This one is going to be the 5 rupee, made out of brass. That one has a diamond mint mark, which I don't see very often. Here's another coin from Taiwan, but I wanted to point out something. This one has an extra character on it. So the Taiwanese coins do not have the calendar year on it. Instead, I believe it is the year of the Republic. And this one, I think the math is really easy, because it's 101. 101, 101st year of the Republic. So that one would make this one fairly new. I believe this one is going to be a $5 coin. Another coin from Britain that makes part of the shield. So we have the top of the harp and the bottom of the lower lion. That's the Irish harp, Northern Ireland harp, on the 1 penny coin, featuring the last portrait of Queen Elizabeth. Another euro. This one is going to be another one from Italy. This is their design of the 10, featuring the lady with flowing hair on here. Has an R for Rome mint mark, although that's the only mint that Italy uses. From Japan, during about World War II, here's a 10 sen coin made out of aluminum. That's the symbol for 10, the number 10. That's the symbol for their currency sen, where 100 sen made 1 yen. Another 10 cent coin. This is one that doesn't have the country name written on it anywhere, so if you see it, you might not recognize where it's from. It's going to be from Austria. Another one from Croatia, or Hrvatska. This one features a plant. It has the name Duhan written on it. That's the 10 lipa from Hrvatska, or Croatia. Another one from Panama. This one is their 5 centesimo from 2001. But at this time, their coins were featuring Sarah Sotillo. Sotillo, okay. There's 2 versions of this coin. The modern version of the coin will have a different number of stars, just like the Costa Rica coin that coincides with the number of states that they have. Here is a 1 cent coin from the Netherlands. They used this design for several decades, all the way up until they went to the euro. But in 1948, this 1 year only, it still featured Queen Wilhelmina. So she only appears on these coins for 1 year, and then the next queen lasted for several decades. From the Soviet Union, we've got a 20 kopeck from 1961. Most of the Soviet coins you're going to find have this design, which started in 1961 and ran all the way through the 90s until the Soviet Union broke apart. But they also had the unusual denomination of 15 kopeck. Another one from the first year here. So 15 cents, that never really made a whole lot of sense to me. From Romania, we have this coin featuring Constantine Brâncoveanu, who lived, has the dates there, maybe he, I don't know if that's when he lived or ruled, but it has dates of 1688 to 1714. This one is going to be a 1,000 lei from 2001. And in this tiny little coin is a country that we don't find all that often. And they don't even use an alphabet like anybody else. This is Armenia. And I'm not sure that I have this. It's the 10 of whatever you call that currency. Yeah, I don't see, I usually see the 1 dram more often, so I don't know what that one's even called. And then here's another modern coin that I don't know that I had this one either. This one's going to be a 10 pesos from 2020 from Argentina. So it's a shame that this coin's gotten kind of dirty in just 5 years, but I like the look of that. I had the 1 and the 5, but I did not have this 10 featuring that shaded tree, so I really like that design. We've seen a couple of Malaysian coins. This is the way the 50 cent used to look like. I'm not quite sure what's in that box, but this one is a 50 cent from 20 cent from 2005. Ireland's coins were pegged to the British coins before they joined the EU, and so when the 5 pence coin for Britain was reduced in size, the same thing happened with the Irish coins. So the 5 pence featuring the bull here from 1993. From Poland, here is a modern 20 groszy from 2002. We've seen some other Panamanian coins. This one is the 1/10 of a Balboa, or 1/10 of a Balboa. Ooh, that one's got a really damaged corner on it, but dated 2008. This is the look of the euros from Belgium, featuring King Albert II. That is his monogram on the side. I believe he is no longer the king there, but there are 2 variations of this. 1999 was the first year of the euro, but then they, a few years later, they removed that circle that's on here. Another coin from Nicaragua. This one is the 1 Cordoba from 2022. I guess that makes this the newest coin that we've seen. But we still have the 5 mountain peaks, the same radiant cap. Although instead of, I remember that older coin had dotted lines going to each of the mountains. This one has straight lines and some rings that go around it. I don't know if that's meant to be a rainbow or just circles going around it, but I think that's neat. The euro coins from Greece still have Greek names on them. So this is the 5 lepta coin featuring this cargo ship from 2002. From Italy, their 1 euro cent there features some kind of government building, I believe. 2002 on that one. Here's a modern coin from the Bank of Russia, 1998. A couple of variations to look at on this. Right here, the words at the very bottom are straight, but in later years they're curved. It's going to be a 2 rubles. From Pakistan, we have this small aluminum coin from 1971. I believe that's the one, Paisa, I believe. Always like this New Zealand 20 cent coin featuring the kiwi bird. So it's a shame that that one's dirty like a lot of the coins in here. Back to the Philippines, featuring Andres Bonifacio from 1994. This one is the 2 peso, featuring the scientific name, the Cocos nucifera. Maybe that's a coconut tree. Looks like there are coconuts in that tree, or maybe it's a palm tree. Here is a modern coin from Peru. They do have a lot of circulating commemorative coins, but this one is the standard design of 2014. One thing that is newer on some of these coins, on the new Nuevo Sol, is this logo right there, which I believe is PERI. And then here is the Lima mint mark, which takes up a pretty good amount of space. On here, this is the design of most coins from East Germany. Compass inside of the wreath of wheat. This one is a 1 Pfennig from A Berlin mint mark, A at the very top, dated 1978. Another coin from Ghana. This one is a 1 Pasewa, and it features a bridge. Nice engineering design there from 2007. A couple of coins from Jamaica, the modern coins. This one features national hero, the excellent Sir Alexander Bustamante. This is the $1 coin from 2020. This coin is round, but in older years it was 7-sided. You can kind of see the 7-sided design on it, but they decided to make it round in later years. Another coin that features national hero, the excellent Paul Bogle. That one's going to be the 10 cents coin from 1991. You ever see this coin? This is the design from Ethiopia. I usually find this coin well worn. Just going from memory here, I believe this coin is a 10 centime, but they're another culture that uses a different numeric system than most. So the 5 characters on here are the date on the Ethiopian calendar. From Cuba, their tourism coins feature points of interest around Cuba. This one features Trinidad on the 25 centavos. Back to Malaysia, this is the modern 50 sen coin from 2014. And again, I hate how ugly this is when it's only about a decade old, but this one has kind of a flower design with more dots and lines on it. Did these coins get spilled in motor oil or something? From back to Croatia. This one is from 2001. It says Slavui for some kind of bird on here. But I was really interested in this one right here. Which side is up? I guess this side is up. So we had the tuna fish earlier. This one says Thunis Finus. Now, I know for a while that the Croatian coins had 2 different versions that they would alternate. On odd years, they'd have it one way, and then even years, they'd have it another way. They would alternate which language they would use. So on some years, they would use the native Croatian language, and other years, they would use Latin. And the Latin versions of the coins are a lot harder to find. So I don't know if this is the Latin version or what's going on here, but otherwise, it looks a lot like the other tuna fish coin that we saw. In El Salvador, 1974, pretty tiny coin, but we have the 2 centavos. There was a 1 and a 3 that look very similar to this one. From Germany, I don't know if you've ever noticed this before, but after World War II, this was the look of the 50 Pfennig coin. We've got a J mint mark on it, but they kept this design all the way from the end of World War II until the beginning of the Euro. It features a lady planting, I believe, an oak tree. So we're going to see that oak tree on the modern Euro coins. So the German 1, 2, and 5 Euro cent coins feature the budding oak leaf. And it kind of essentially says we're turning a new leaf. I don't know if that's the right expression, but we're starting over. We're planting something new following World War II. So I like the symbolism on those German coins. Another of the modern Philippines coins, this one is the 25 centimos, and on the left here it features the design of their flag. So that sun is the look of the sun on the Philippine flag, surrounded by 3 stars. We've got a date of 2019 on this one. And this features a catman plant on that one. So I like the look of that. Let's move to a bimetallic coin from the Dominican Republic. Dated 2015, so Central Bank of Republica Dominicana, featuring Mela on here. This one is a 10 pesos from 2015. We'll move on to a coin from New Zealand. This one is 2015, and it features a really large sailboat known as the Endeavour. So at one point, this was a fairly large size coin, but starting in, I'm thinking it was around 2006, they shrunk the size of this coin, and they still have been using it by 2015. So it was originally a much larger coin than that one. Next, we have a modern coin from Nepal. Nepal uses the rupee. I haven't seen this coin in a couple of years. Thankfully, they have been written in English for it. It has the name Nepal, 1 rupee written at the very top. Most Nepalese coins do not feature any kind of writing that I can understand, but they draw their 1 to look like a 9. We've got a map of the outline of the country of Nepal. And I suppose that's Mount Everest in the background, since Mount Everest is half in Nepal, and they certainly claim it. And then we've got Nepal again. So I cannot read the numbers on there. Their calendar is about 20 or 30 years off of ours. It's that's definitely a 2 and a 0, but I don't know what the backward E, or the E looking at. That might be a 4. So it's not the year. It would be the year 2044 on their calendar. And so I don't know what that translates to on our calendar. Our final coin of this video is going to be one more from Lebanon. We had the 250 earlier, but this one is the 500, dated 1990. 500 levers. I said 1990, but that's how you write it in Arabic. I got confused because the R5 looks like their 0. So this is 500. It's not 000. But there it says 1990 in their script is 1995 on our script. Again, it's a shame that this is kind of a dirty coin, but that's probably why I left it in this lot. So I didn't show you every coin, but I thought those were all the highlights. And I've got a couple more lots that I've purchased from this guy at the same show. And I've made other lots from the same guy, so keep on looking out for that. Certainly the best bargain that I will find anywhere, unless you just find a small-time dealer that's just trying to move stuff. All right, I will catch you in the next video. Until then, bye.